Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Inside Golf. I'm Harry Donahue, and coming up on today's show, we'll take a look at the recent Gap Open and the winner, who joins an elite list of having won it more than once. That list includes a name such as Jay Sigel. And in our Meet the Pros segment today, we'll introduce you to Bob Hennefer. Bob's the head professional at Indian Spring. Plus, our Teed Off panel will talk about the four majors. What's the toughest one to win? What isn't so tough? And what is the most prestigious of the four major tournaments? Stay with us. It's all coming up next right here on Inside Golf.
Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf. 54 courses, 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By the First Tee of Philadelphia. The First Tee helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit thefirsttphiladelphia.org. By the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, celebrating amateur golf since 1897. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life. And by Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. By the Haverford Trust Company. Quality is in our DNA. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf. Take time to thank your local PGA golf professional.
Golf is the great equalizer. For many, this journey is an escape from reality, a chance to be part of a team, a career opportunity. PGA Reach impacts lives through golf by lifting people up, giving them hope, and sending them down an alternate path that they never saw coming. With PGA Reach Philadelphia, as in life and in golf, the most important shot you take is the next one.
Welcome back to Inside Golf. Recently, the Golf Association of Philadelphia conducted one of its premier events, an annual event. It was the Gap Open. It is open to professionals as well as amateurs. And it was held at Huntington Valley Country Club. From the Gap, here's Marty Emino with all the details.
Gap mainstay Jeff Osberg erased a couple of early season what could have beens with a sensational victory in the 115th Open Championship at Huntington Valley. Facing a field of Philadelphia's top amateurs and professionals, Osberg finished the 36 holes at 5 under par. That was good enough for a two-stroke victory over Bitterman teaching professional Zach Oakley. Oakley surged into solo second place and low pro honors with an incredible 50-foot birdie on the final hole. This is the second Open victory for Osberg, a Pine Valley member. He also won in 2016. Osberg joins Andrew Mason, Brandon Matthews, William Hyman III, and R.J. Sigel as the only amateurs to hold multiple Open titles. Sigel holds the all-time record with 6.
You know, you never know when you're going to win again. I'm happy that I'm consistently putting myself in positions to win. As you guys noted, you know, the past couple didn't exactly go my way, but I mean, I was right there. You know, I had a chance. I feel like every time I'm teeing it up right now, I'm competing and at least getting myself in a good position to have a chance coming into whether it's the back nine or the second day. And I think that's all you can ask for. Happy that I was able to come out on top. I mean, obviously winning majors is extremely important to me in the Gap, and happy to, you know, hopefully it's not my last.
Osberg entered the final round a stroke behind Day 1 leader Dave McNabb, Applebrook's head pro. That deficit was erased within the first few holes, however, and when all the groups had made the turn, Osberg went from 1 shot back to 1 shot ahead. A few holes later, Osberg solidified his top-rung status. He made par on the short par 4 11th, and McNabb made bogey. On number 12, a par 4 measuring 421 yards, Osberg lifted the wedge from 122 yards to 2 feet. He would make birdie and increase the lead to 3. Number 14 played as a 532-yard par 5 on day 2. Osberg ripped a 4-iron from the middle of the fairway 230 yards out that stopped 30 feet from the cup. This eagle try slid just by, but a tap-in birdie started his championship pro session. Amateurs John Brennan, former Open champion Matthew Matari, and Connor McNicholas all tried to press Osberg, but no one could really get close enough to place any doubt in the winner's head. Osberg is a former HVCC member, and that certainly helped his psyche in the 3rd oldest championship in Philadelphia.
I was thrilled when I saw the Open was coming here. Place I'm very comfortable playing. A lot of great memories here, and I think that definitely played a big part in just kind of just how relaxed I was able to feel in the course today, and just know kind of exactly what I wanted to do on every hole and every shot.
Osberg's victory has him poised to win a 3rd Player of the Year award. He won that accolade in 2015 and 2016. For GAP, I'm Marty Emino.
Thanks, Marty. Stay with us, folks. Coming up next, we'll meet the pro. We'll introduce you to Bob Hennefer from Indian Spring.
For other people to play the game of golf.
When you think about your future, you have dreams. You want to succeed. That means achieving your goals, both big and small. At Citadel, we want to help you get there. We believe that success is achieved with the right plan, the right people, and the right determination. We're committed to your success, her success, and their success. Talk to us about how we can help you reach your goals. Citadel, banking with one focus, you.
Now, Meet the Pro, brought to you by Haverford Trust, where quality investing is a hole-in-one for our clients.
Started playing golf when I was just a little kid, just playing miniature golf on the boardwalk with my brother and my family. My dad golfed every now and then, so he would take us to the driving range and we would play. I got decent at it, and then played golf when I was in high school. So I was good enough to play high school baseball, but not good enough to play college baseball. So I said, we're not going to do that, and I switched my focus to golf. I played on the golf team in college, but I didn't do the PGA program. I did that after college. I worked at Great Bay Country Club, just working the driving range, and I would get lessons from John Applegate, who was the teaching pro there, and then I would work the range and then go play golf, and I did that almost every day, and that's kind of what got me into golf. That's what got me good. That's how I started playing. I got into the game. That was my first job. My mom is an accountant, so I saw what that lifestyle was like, and long hours in an office, not too much free time. And I said, you know what? I said, I'm pretty good at this. I have a lot of fun doing this. Maybe I can make a living out of it, and maybe I can have the best of both worlds and be outside and do something I enjoy, rather than do something that's just I'm putting in the time and then I get to enjoy it only on the weekends. So that was probably sometime in college when I kind of decided to flip the switch. I said, I'm going to give this a shot. Worked at Woodcrest Country Club after I got out of college, and it was there that I attained my PGA membership. And then as soon as I attained my PGA membership, I was lucky enough to get my first head professional position down at White Oaks Country Club, and then worked at a couple spots, and then I've been here for 6 years now as the director of golf and head professional, and now the director of recreation and open space for the township. So it's been a journey, a short one so far, but it's been fun. So I worked with the Special Olympics for a number of years, but it was really my brother who has Down syndrome. He was the driving force behind it. So Brad and I played Special Olympics golf, I don't know, probably since I was 14 or 15, so probably when he was about 9 or 10 was our first Special Olympics golf event, I guess. He really enjoyed it, and then we kind of stuck with it every year. It was that journey with my brother, and then that was helping us help other kids with Down syndrome get into golf. And we did a lot of golf clinics. We started a nonprofit foundation where we ran clinics for a number of times. We had an annual golf outing for a couple years, all to raise money to hopefully get individuals with Down syndrome into the golf industry, or to just play the game. So that coupled with Special Olympics was probably a good 10 or 15 years that I was involved with the Special Olympics golf program, and especially with my brother. You got to be good at the office work to be able to have the fun outside. So I take very seriously the work that we do to service our guests, service the members, run golf outings, merchandise a good shop. It takes a lot of hard work behind the scenes, and we do that in the wintertime. In the off season, we set our staff in the wintertime, we set our merchandise plans in the wintertime, book all of our outings. So basically April 1 hits and we're off and running. We know what we don't know. We're out there anticipating what's going to come our way, so that we can really teach the game, we can really focus on growing the game, getting more individuals playing, rather than worrying about what golf ball order is going to come in the next day. So we already have all that planned out. We already have our schedules planned out, our staffing planned out, so that when the season hits and it's nice out, we can really focus on the customers. So when we play Special Olympics golf on the regional and state level, play for place, so they do it just like the Olympics. Every fall there's a medal ceremony, gold, silver, bronze. So it was really, really cool to have that with him, to kind of, I would say, culminate that part of my life with Special Olympics. It was really, really cool. Our head professional, Curtis Kirkpatrick, and our assistant, Brett Fernandez, have really taken over a lot of the teaching responsibilities lately. And unbeknownst to me, Brett has organized clinics with Special Olympics, which is really cool. So I don't really know that I've talked to Brett that much about my impact with Special Olympics and how this kind of shaped me as a PGA professional. I would assume so. We have some pictures up in the shop, and he knows my brother. But at the same time, I would like to think that it did, and that's part of the reason why he's engaging with that group. So it was really special for me to figure that out, that that was a group that he was engaging with, and it was also pretty special to watch him give those lessons, and so that he could see part of the joy that I did for so many years. So just to be able to pass that down, that's something that's pretty cool. The best piece of advice I can give an aspiring PGA Pro is to play the game, teach the game, remember why you love the game. So we all got into this game by being good players. Day to day we get so involved in the behind the scenes of running an operation. I'm more of a business manager than I am a golf professional, but I think that's where the golf professional has kind of evolved over the years. So it's going to be very, very important for you to understand the business aspect to run a successful operation. But don't lose sight of why you got involved in the golf business in the first place. Keep active with the PGA, play, engage with your customers, and teach the game. There's nothing better than introducing the game to a young kid or a family or an adult that's never played, and you get to see the joy on their face. So that's really special. You can't lose sight of that. That's why we're here. We're here for other people to play the game of golf. So if we don't have golfers, we don't have a business. So always remember what your purpose is, which is creating more golfers and really giving back all of your skills that you have to somebody else so that they can enjoy the game as well.
Some pretty sound advice from Bob Hennefer of Indian Spring. All right, still ahead, our teed off panel will be discussing the 4 majors. What's the easiest one to win? And what may not be the toughest one of the 4? But before we get to our panel, did you ever wonder?
Did you ever wonder why there are dimples on a golf ball? Did you ever wonder?
Well, have you ever tried to hit a ball without dimples? It falls right out of the sky. Simple aerodynamics. The dimples make the ball go up, and that's always a good thing when you hit a golf shot.
Did you ever wonder why they call it a birdie in golf? Did you ever wonder?
It came from Atlantic City Country Club, and there's a book out called The Birth of the Birdie, and you could buy it. I'm sure you can get it online or at Atlantic City Country Club. And it came from, apparently there was a shot hit and somebody used the statement, "That's a bird of a shot." And that's where the term birdie came from.
Students in our program learn a lot about leadership and how to become a leader.
We have a good cause, we've got great kids and people. It teaches young people not only golf, but the life lessons that golf teaches us.
I've been a better person throughout my career in golf.
We're teaching kids how to be better kids, how to be better people, and to build better communities.
Respect, honesty, courtesy, integrity, judgment.
Not only does it give kids a jump start on the game of golf, but maybe a little bit of a jump start on the game of life. Welcome back. Inside Golf continues. A little overcast day here at Bluestone Country Club in Bluebell. Glad you could join us for another round with our teed-off panel that includes President of the GAP, Golf Association of Philadelphia, Quinn Spitzer. Good to see you again, Quinn.
Thanks, Harry.
Member at Huntington Valley Country Club. Bob Shepard, longtime contributor to the show.
Yep.
Longtime professional in the Philadelphia area, Shep.
Author?
Oh, yeah, and an author.
There's my book, The Dormie House. If anybody's looking for an interesting read, this is it.
There you go. Self-promotion is included. Thank you very much. Joe Giuliano, who covers golf and several sports for the Inquirer.
Thanks, Harry.
Good to see you again, Joe.
Thank you,
Joe,
Harry.
we've completed now our 4 majors.
Right.
We're through the cycle because they moved the PGA to earlier in the year. Normally it's in August, but now that's complete. Did you like the new cycle?
I did. I think it's very valuable to have the Open Championship as the last one. I mean, there's more dramatics there, I think, than in any other major. Just from the fact that the golf course is terrific. Whatever golf course they play on, it's not the same one. But you go back to the Stenson and Phil duel a few years back. You know, obviously, Jack Nicholson, Tom Watson. Right. You know, you have Spieth, the year he won. All kinds of great
this year with
Mr. Lowry, yeah. Right. I mean, you have
the
all
Irishman that nobody thought was going to win, who did win.
Yeah, you have all kind of great storylines from the Open Championship, and I think that's a perfect one. I mean, the PGA when it was last, they used to try to build it up as Glory's last shot, but it really wasn't. It just didn't seem to have the gravitas as the other majors did. This year being first and having it at Bethpage, and a tough course where Brooks Koepka looked like he was going to run away with it, and then kind of fell back. I thought that was a really great tournament and well suited to be the first one of the year, well, the second one of the year behind the Masters.
All right, next question then, Quinn, is which of the 4, year in, year out, is the toughest one to win, do you think?
Well, for many years when Tom Meeks was setting up the U.S. Open, that was the hardest of all the tournaments, largely because the courses were almost unplayable. But now as you see different people setting up the U.S. Open, I would have to say the Open Championship, the British Open, is the hardest. Most of these players don't play a lot on links-style golf courses. So while they have done it in the past, they grew up as amateurs, particularly if they're European playing on those courses. It's not something they play week in, week out. And again, the elements come into play in a way that they don't necessarily come into play in any of the other majors. Links golf is a different form of golf. And so I think it's really the most difficult of all, and that's part of the reason why it's so much fun to watch. You can end up having people come out of nowhere to win the Open Championship. Remember, we have back-to-back champions, Ben Curtis and Todd Hamilton. Tell me where those people were and where they are now, and you've actually won something.
Well, I'm not going to win, so
no, that's right.
I don't have an answer for that. Shep, which of the 4 do you think is the easier or the easiest one to win?
Yeah, of the 4 of them, I feel, and you can tell by the record too, there's multiple winners at Augusta, and that is not as prevalent with the other tournaments as it is there. So I would have to say, of all of them, not downplaying the Masters, but everybody's dying to get in there, so no one's avoiding it. So I can't use that. But the thing is that there's five winners. I think there is multiple winners, where the other tournaments you might get 2 two-time winners, and that's the difference right there. The PGA members. So okay, it's exclusive. That's as far as you're going to go. That's all the pros, and the pros, they mix the 2 together, the playing pro and the club pro. Well, the club pros, God bless them, they work in 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. They could play a good round, but they're not going to play a whole bunch of good golf, unfortunately. Then you got the PGA, and then you had the U.S. Open, 2 and under handicap, and off they go. And your local amateurs, as great as they are, shoot their round and qualify, and then they get into the tournament, and it's a whole new arena. Now it's a bullfight. They don't even know, they don't have the red cape, you know, and so I don't know. To me, that's not as poignant of a win as it should be. So I think of all of them, the Masters is the softest one.
Would the fact, Shep mentioned the fact that multiple winners at Augusta as compared to these other championships and majors that are being played. Is the field, do you think, set up for that to happen at Augusta? Let's face it, you have some of these guys that are playing now that won maybe 30 years ago at Augusta. They're not going to compete. It's a nice hand extension to them to come on in and relive the glory days. But I mean, what's it do to the field? Does it water down the field, do you think?
Well, I don't think anybody worries about the strength of schedule. I mean, in comparing the 4 majors, yeah, the strength of schedule of the Masters is not as strong as the other 3. But I think people in Masters regulars who have their little lawn chairs and they come in every year and they stud it at the same hole, love seeing like Larry Mize come around and they say, hey, do you remember '87 when Greg Norman, we beat Greg Norman, the great Greg Norman? So you'll have that, and who doesn't want to see like some of the older pros? But don't forget, like 20 years ago, it was Arnie and Jack and Gary Player playing in this tournament as well. So the nostalgia factor at Augusta is pretty big. And then as far as multiple winners are concerned, you're playing the same course every year. You know how, I mean, Tiger Woods knows how every blade of grass reacts on the green, and it did help him this year.
Yeah.
But that makes it the Masters like special in the fact that you know what's coming. You know 13 is going to be tough. You know, are they going to go for it at 15? What if he gets a little too excited at 16 and hits it in the water? I mean, there's just a lot of drama with the Masters that I think makes it attractive, and I think negates the strength of field argument.
Is you think among professionals, winning a green jacket more important than taking home a claret jug or, you know, a U.S. Open championship? What do you think on the resume is most important to them?
I think it depends on where the professional's from. I think a lot of the European players, the claret jug, the oldest of the championships, is very prestigious and might very well be the one that they would want. Certainly was for somebody like Seve. I think for the rest of the field, there's a certain panache that's attached to the Masters that really is hard to transfer anywhere else. And so holding that green jacket, something that you have for the rest of your lifetime, I think that's a pretty big deal.
Okay. You agree with that, Shep?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. That's there's so much history in all these tournaments. I mean, any one of them can, you know, put you into the Hall of Fame of history of golf, and that's the wonderful part of our sport. It's very history oriented, I guess you'd say. The future of golf is in its past is the handle on the deal, I think, and that's the biggest advantage for these tournaments to win. When you win Augusta, you got Charles Coody playing when he's 80 years old, you know what I mean? And so the title goes with you forever and ever and ever, and such as the same thing with the Open and the U.S. Open for that matter. I mean, to put your name on a trophy in one of these 4 tournaments is really special. It's beautiful.
Right. Well, Joe, you and I will never get a chance to hoist the claret jug or wear a green jacket.
Right.
So I don't know if the question even applies, but I'll take either one.
Okay, sure, why not?
Gentlemen, thank you. We'll be back. More of Inside Golf in a moment.
Located in Bluebell, just a short drive from Plymouth Meeting, Bluestone Country Club offers a setting that's close at hand but feels like a world away. Bluestone offers a championship caliber golf course, practice facilities including a large driving range, separate chipping and putting areas, and a staff of PGA professionals. At the Country House at Bluestone, you'll find excellent food, superb service, and an outstanding setting. Their expert staff will assist in planning your next event, whether it's a wedding or simply a luncheon, dinner, or cocktail party. Check out Bluestone's variety of membership options. Much more than a golf course, Bluestone is a community.
Ready? Fire! Whoa! Hey, do you guys want to come with us?
Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of Inside Golf. Coming up next week, we're going to catch up with some experienced head professionals, golf pros that maybe have sort of semi-retired. They're still playing. In fact, they're members of the Bunker Club. They meet on a regular basis, and we caught up with them recently at White Marsh Valley Country Club. And we'll be here at Lookaway Golf Club in Buckingham, Bucks County. Craig Berube is a member. You know Craig Berube, the former Flyer, player and coach. Now he's the head coach of the Stanley Cup winning St. Louis Blues. And Craig returned here to Lookaway with, guess what? The Stanley Cup. How many clubs have that distinction? That's next week on Inside Golf. I'm Harry Donahue. Remember, no matter how bad it's going for you out there, don't pick up. And we will see you next week with the Stanley Cup and Craig Berube here on Inside Golf.
Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf. 54 courses, 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By the First Tee of Philadelphia. The First Tee helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit thefirsttphiladelphia.org. By the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, celebrating amateur golf since 1897. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life. And by Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. By the Haverford Trust Company, quality is in our DNA. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf. Take time to thank your local PGA golf professional.